Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're talking about WhisperFlow. This has gained a lot of attention lately, and I haven't personally tried it. I know Jaden has, but it's a voice to text feature, and there's a lot of open source versions of it coming out now. So today we're going to talk all about WhisperFlow. And before we get into that, though, Jaden, why don't you tell them about our school community?
Yes, every single week we drop a bonus episode over on our school community. Jamie did a really cool one this week where he actually got access to ChatGPT ads. So the ad platform that OpenAI rolled out to put ads into ChatGPT, he tested them for the business. He shows you his analytics, how much it costs per click, how he did the targeting, which is mind blowing. I've never seen targeting like this before. So anyways, if you're interested in the inside scoop on Jamie's business and the numbers and like 100 other videos we've posted over the last 2 years on how we grow and scale our businesses, all of the tools, all of the metrics, all the stuff we don't publish publicly, it's over on the school community. So go check it out. It's $19 a month. You get access to everything, and the price will never be raised on you. All right, let's talk about WhisperFlow. I have a lot to say about this company. First of all, I don't really know where this company came from. Jamie, you said you've heard about it before. Where have you usually heard about this from?
Mostly I see people make content about it. Like they're instead of typing to Claude or ChatGPT, they're just talking, and it's like, oh, development is so easy now. It seems like kind of like spam, not spammy, but like ads,
Okay, so
almost
it
like
feels
paid
sponsored, kind
influencer
of.
stuff to me a little bit. But because I mean, I think the idea is cool. I guess I don't see it as that proprietary or anything, but it is only it's $15 a month, so it's not too expensive of a program. But have you used it?
Yes, I have used it and actually think it is a good product. The only thing that I think is funny is if you go to their website, there's a quote from Reid Hoffman that says, "Voice is the future of human computer interaction." And um, I don't know if, and then if you click on that, it says why Reid Hoffman got voice pilled on the future of human computer interaction. I don't know if he's mentioning anything to do with WhisperFlow or if they just found a clip of a famous person talking about why he likes or why like voice is good. So I don't know. I haven't researched that too much, but it feels like they should find a quote of him mentioning their company and put that on their website. But anyways, their website does look beautiful. It looks amazing. 5-star review on all of it. And I've tried the product, and the product is pretty good. I actually have no idea where it came from, but somehow all of my not super technical AI friends use WhisperFlow. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I use WhisperFlow for everything," and I'm like, "What? Where the heck did this come from?" Because I am a massive voice dictation person. I basically got through all of college by doing voice to text and then using Grammarly to correct my essays that I wrote that way. So you guys can all cringe at me. That's okay. That's really how I I wrote like all my papers. I've always been like that, and I just hate typing. And so when I found out about this, I was like, man, this is awesome. And then I was recently talking. So I had this down, and the problem is they have, I think, a free tier, but you run through your free tier pretty quick. So I'll give you the good, bad, and the ugly. The good, it is very quick. It feels very premium when you hit like transcribe. They have a really lightning fast model that grabs what you're saying and they spit it back dictated in like milliseconds. So it's buttery smooth and amazing. That is what I like about WhisperFlow. The other thing that I like about WhisperFlow is they have a keyboard shortcut. So basically, when I'm on Claude and I'm working on code or something, I hit my keyboard shortcut and I talk and it transcribes it and I hit go. Now, Claude also has like a voice dictation button, but for some reason it disappears if it's working on a task. So so if I'm like, I want to voice dictate something, but it's working on something, you can't click it till it's done. Then you got to wait. So that's just adding some latency, slowing you down. And so anyways, for that reason, and it was kind of smooth, I was like, okay, I'll try this. It ran out of my credits pretty quick for free. So I think that was kind of the downside. And I was telling my brother about that, and he was like, and I was like, yeah, it's so cool. It's got this like keyboard shortcut. You can click it. And he's like, oh, kind of like how on Mac you can just click the microphone button. It's like F5 and then it will just voice dictate for you. And I'm like, what? I didn't really realize that was a feature. I don't know if you've used that, Jamie. Have you done
I
that?
haven't. No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
good to know.
Well, yeah, if you just push F5 on your keyboard, it's the microphone button on Macs. I'm not exactly sure what the equivalent on Windows would be, but Apple has just like probably a built-in open source. That's kind of what that article we were talking about at the beginning was getting at. But it's just got a built-in, I think, open source model that transcribes. It's kind of like Siri. Now, is Siri perfect? No, but it's actually pretty. I mean, it gets like 80, 90% of my words right. And Claude and ChatGPT, as you guys all know, will take 80% and take any typos, and it will figure it out and it will do it correctly. So WhisperFlow, I think, got it like 100% right, but for free. And also, I think the Apple version, I do notice there's a latency. You click the button, 2 seconds later, it's like 1, 2, pops up, and it's like ding, and then you can talk, and then it's like 1, 2 seconds, and then ding, and it's done. So there's probably a 2 second latency on the beginning and end of every time you push the button. WhisperFlow doesn't have that. It's more instantaneous. But WhisperFlow is $144 a year. So if you're cheap like me, I'm just using I have so many subscriptions I don't want anymore. I'm just using the Apple one. It works. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty fast. So I'm not sure where Whisper is going to be in the market because this is just a feature I didn't know about. And I think a lot of people are in the same camp where they're like, wow, WhisperFlow is super cool. They probably don't know that there's just a free version built into your computer already.
So I will say I want to say a couple things because the more I'm reading about this, the more I'm a little bit sold on it as far as how it could be useful for developers. So that's kind of a lot of the content I see is based around vibe coding. And WhisperFlow here, one of the unique things they're claiming is more proprietary, is able to have syntax awareness and dev jargon. So like if you're, talking about your JSON file, maybe a traditional large language model, or, your microphone on your computer might think you're saying Jason, someone's name instead of JSON. So it's able to detect that and actually, do it correctly so you're not having to fix things. So I can definitely see the usage in that case. I will say it depends on what you're doing. So it also is going to help you with writing and spelling things right, and grammar, things like that. So it's not just translating what you say to text, but it's actually helping you write faster. So I get it. I still think, like you said, I'm a little bit cheap, and so the $15 a month is kind of where I get hung up. But maybe I should just try it for a bit, see how it goes.
Yeah, 100%. It's a great tool. So I give it a full product endorsement of it being awesome. Like, used it, loved it, just didn't want to pay for it. And you're completely right. It did a great job with. So if you're working on documents where you're not sticking it into ChatGPT first, you're like compiling a document and you want it to be ready, it will do like bullet points and like cool stuff like that. I think it can like kind of understand what you're doing there and do some like formatting stuff, which is really nice. It does like auto correction. It's great at all of that. And when I use Apple, by the way, sometimes I say JSON and it does say Jason. I don't know if you had that example, if you read that example somewhere, but when you said that, I was like, ooh, that resonates. But what I will say is if you're working with an LLM like Claude or ChatGPT, you can say Jason and it knows you mean JSON. So it doesn't really matter whether WhisperFlow corrects it or Claude corrects it. Like, it gets corrected after you say it. So to me, it's not really a selling point for why I would use WhisperFlow. If you're doing stuff going directly into docs, maybe directly into your like messages, and it's not getting relayed to an AI model, then you got to like make a document without AI, which, to be honest, I don't really know why you would have to do that, but there's probably lots of use cases where you would. Then I think WhisperFlow is a great tool, and if you don't mind paying $15 a month. Also, if you want the latency to be down, 2 seconds off the beginning, 2 seconds off the end, it's a little snappier. I will say over the last month, I've just used the Apple button, and I have written. My wife rewrote our entire app from scratch using it, a major app that has 150,000 users. I've built like 3 websites and 4 SaaSes and another app that I'm putting out soon. So I've done a lot with just the Apple. It's 100% capable of getting it all done. And I'm not sure what model Apple's running off of, but I will also say there's probably a way to integrate it. And I haven't looked into it, but OpenAI has Whisper, which is an open source dictation model that is free. I wouldn't be surprised if WhisperFlow is using, probably it's just using OpenAI's Whisper plus something else, and they host it themselves, so they're going to charge you something for it. But that is free, and there's probably ways to download that. There's one called VoiceInk. It's $25. It's one time on Mac, and you can use that. So there's a lot of options out there. If you're cheap, use the built-in stuff. If you want to go premium, cut down some latency, get some nice formatting, WhisperFlow is a good option.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see, like, moving forward, I'd like to see some improved latency with some of the voice agents. I was just looking at the particular program I use, and it's showing that the talk-to-speech platform has 450 milliseconds of latency. Then you have your LLM, which is ChatGPT 4.1, that has 500 to 800 milliseconds of latency. transcription 50 milliseconds, knowledge base 125 milliseconds. So total, after all that adds up, you have over 1 full second of latency when you're talking back and forth to the someone on the phone. I'm trying to get it to sound as natural as possible, so I got to cut down on that latency, but there's not really a lot of room to cut stuff at this point. So like, yeah, I wonder if WhisperFlow could integrate with something like the program I'm using for my AI receptionist. I don't know. I think it's cool what they're doing. I may have to give it a try.
All right. Jamie's sold. Thanks everyone so much for hopping on the podcast today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to go leave us a rating and review on Apple. Guys, on Apple, we just passed 100 reviews. We are so grateful. We read all of them. You guys are amazing. If you haven't left a review yet, if you're that person that listens, enjoys the show, we would really super appreciate a show. It helps us get shown to more people. We just saw yesterday we were at number 69 in the entrepreneurship charts. So that's all thanks to you guys tuning in. Let us know in the comments anything that you'd like to see more of on the show, what your favorite types of episodes are. Leave a review. We read them all. We appreciate them all. And thanks so much for all you guys do. Make sure to go check out the School Community. We'd love to have you in there, and we'll see you in the next episode.